Oh, hello there. This is going to be kind of a weird format. I don't have any resin, and I don't really have like a lot to do in the game, so I want to just do a fairly late to the party kind of first take on my Kuki Shinobu, and I think Kuki was met with pretty lukewarm reception. There was somewhat for an electro healer, and I guess what I want to say is, why do we need an electro healer? And even looking at her C6, why do we need to not die when you take lethal damage? When you take 0 damage doing the weekly bosses in the fight. And if this sounds stupid, that's because you got baited a little bit. And this is actually not a Kuki hate video, it is the opposite. This is a Kuki love video. So in the background will be a no damage taken, except for self-inflicted damage taken as the hot rod. She's using a physical build. He's got physical resistance. Don't mind the damage, it's fine. But let me just talk about Kuki in general. And maybe I'll throw in some Mazda tips while I'm going here. There's some nice little tidbits, and I've killed him a shit ton of times, so I'll have some tidbits. So here's my take on Kuki. I think she's kind of like, right now, Electro Jean, which is that she works in so many comps, can take on a sub DPS build, run full EM like Jean can run in Sunfire with full EM. She could run the Tenacity full healer build. You could run, again, even a physical DPS build, which sounds kind of mean, but I think people kind of overlook that when you don't run a healer, you just run another sub DPS, right? So instead of running like Razor with Diona, you'd be running like Kuki with Rosaria, right? I mean, it's not that different, and frankly, just better because she just feels better to play. By the way, you could iframe that one. There's some weird inconsistencies with this boss. But anyway, right now, that's where I think she stands, where she's really flexible. In my opinion, I actually have multiple builds. This is actually Eula's artifacts that she's using here, and it actually is just working just fine, right? Obviously, for all content, it's perfectly functional. Now, I don't think this is where she's going to land in the meta, right? Again, I think I mentioned she's like Electro Jean. I think she's going to end up being more clearly like Electro Kokomi. So I'm not going to do a identical video to everything you've seen about my face on top of the reaction to the Dendro trailer. The Dendro trailer was fine. There's a lot you can glean, there's a lot you can't glean. But here's what I can tell you for right now. There is literally, and I say this literally, there is no reliable passive AoE electro trigger who's triggering the reaction. You think of Fischl, you think of Fado, you think of Lisa even with her burst and things like that. They're typically the aura applying too much electro for another element to react on. Now that could be pointless or it could be super helpful. We won't know. We do know that Kokomi's AoE Hydro is really what set her over the top. People think it's the clam set. It's not, right? People still don't use the clam set on her. They still use Tenacity like they had when she came out. And Kuki has this similar, actually even more convenient heal, right? It's 100% uptime at C2 without needing a burst to refresh. You can move it. It follows with you, unlike Kokomi's Jellyfish. By the way, I love Kokomi. It's not trashing Kokomi either. But the AoE Electro application is just, there's just no way it's not going to be an ideal teammate, right? It just is going to be. It already is good. It's already good for if she's the only Electro in, let's say, a like double Hydro Taser team. She's generally going to trigger enough reactions where building her full EM is worth it. If you run her like I do sometimes with Yoimiya, now this helps have her C4 because her C4 range is actually bigger than her E range, and so it's more reliably triggering reactions. But she can run full EM and trigger 15 to 20, 25k even overloads with some VV Shred. It's actually very good damage for a healer when you have a team built up for her. And this is before we're adding in multiple electro reactions, right? So if you're still doom posting about Kuki being useless, which I've been seeing still to this day, even just that, like even after the Dendro trailer, you're actually crazy. You're just like, you're absolutely out of your mind. She's going to be great. She's already good. I love her. But yeah, I think that's where she's gonna land. All right, so I do think she is going to be pretty much identical, right, to Kukomi, where I think people will see the value in. It doesn't matter how much damage she's doing or not, right? She's 100% necessary to facilitate the reactions that you want. Now, just to talk about Azaha a little bit, since I guess that's what we're doing here. I think there's just a couple. Let me put a couple pointers in. You can bait his animations, which I think a lot of people either think it's random, or they think it's, I don't know, like unavoidable. That you need Zhongli. I mean, obviously you see I'm not taking any damage here, right? Every move is dodgeable. Some of them are pretty cheap, and the hitboxes are pretty bad. Like look at this one. So this one you just want to run away. You'll see these things hit 5 times. You want to just keep. You want to stay distance, right? You can do a little dash, or if you just keep moving far enough away, then they won't hit you, right? This whole fight is kind of a stamina management fight. You'll see that I'm not sprinting a ton. There's a lot of a lot of moves where you're going to need to iframe out really quickly, right? Like right here, like I need my stamina. He's going to be pulling up these hydro balls, which by the way, I've seen a lot of people stand on the outside. In the center of the arena, you actually are more safe. You'll see that they actually spawn on like the edge in 2 rows, but the center is always safe, right? So you actually want to run, in my opinion, to the center. Otherwise, you're kind of gambling that one doesn't spawn literally inside of you, which happens to me 100% of the time. Because anything that can happen 1% of the time will happen to you 100% of the time. Now you'll see like I'm immediately running to his backside here because I want to bait this easy tail move. It's the easiest to dodge, right? A straight downward slash. What you don't want is the like spinny tail move, this one right here. But when you know it's going to come next, right? Because he's not going to do the same tail move twice. So you know that you can just start running away. So I just want to point that out. I'm not going to go through all the moves, but just you can bait through his moves, his animations, and obviously take no damage. I'll go through the builds here. Again, she's using 4-piece Pale Flame. It's my Eula set. It's not like hyper invested. It's not great. It's not amazing, but it is functional. She obviously can run the 4-piece Pale Flame because her skill is constantly ticking. Her actual normal attack multipliers are fairly good. She does like ascend with HP, which is not amazing. Although if you have Jade Cutter, it's a little bonus attack. Anyway, I know this is kind of a weird off-topic video. I'm going to be doing probably another one more about just kind of the difference between the trigger and aura for the Electro. But if you like this, look, this is the best idea I have for content. If you got a better idea, you let me know. Otherwise, like, sub, take it easy, peace.